after we remove all those beans, this is what remains. This is the time that we have left. Time for laughing, swimming, making art, going on hikes, text messages, reading, checking Facebook, playing softball, maybe even teaching yourself how to play the guitar. So what are you going to do with this time? How much of it do you think you've already used up? If you only had half of it, what would you do differently? What about half of that? How much time have you already spent worrying instead of doing something that you love? What if you just had one more day? What are you going to do today?
Yo. What caught my attention was when he said, what if you had one more day to live? What are you going to do differently on that day? If you had half the time that you have, say you have about 1 million worth of time given to you, and you only had 500,000 of that time, what would you do differently as opposed to what you always do on a daily basis? I mean, a lot of us get caught up in routine to a point where we don't even have any room for anything extra or any spontaneous activity that we might want to undertake. We live a routine-based life, and I believe this lockdown, amongst other things, is here to break that and bring us into a place where we get to question ourselves. You know, I mean, our world as we've known it, our life as we've always known it, has been literally put on hold fast. You know, before we could even plan ahead to see how we're going to position ourselves in this standstill period that we all find ourselves in. We were accustomed to certain other habits, certain other, activities, and all of a sudden, all of that has changed. I know for a lot of you who are married and parents and staff, you were used to, a particular pattern of living. In the morning, I have to I wake up an hour before my kids, get ready first so I can prepare them for school and drop them off to school, go to work, spend 8 hours at work, and then at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I need to battle at least 2 hours of traffic to try and get home. I'm tired, I rest. I don't spend time with family much. I don't get to do the homeworks with my kids as I want to. And those of us who are single, we also having our own patterns. Okay, so I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I know for me it was work in the morning, 8 to 5, and when I knock off, I would take about 2 hours, between 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock until 5:30 or so, preparing for my script and going through content and so forth and so forth. Drive for an hour or 30 minutes extra to the station. Then for 2 hours, 7 and 9, I'm on air. After that, I'm home, I'm sleeping. But today, it's a different reality altogether. I wake up, I have nothing to do, or nothing to rush to do, rather, because there's a lot that can be done. I don't have anything that is contractually binding me to get into a particular activity and see it through, rush type of a thing. I used to cry about I need to take ownership of my 8 hours, and now I have more than that. And to a lot of us, we are intimidated. I mean, it's daunting. It's a daunting period to be in. In all honesty, it is very daunting to find ourselves in this space because we are now kicked out of routine, and a lot of people are crying about the lockdown is too long, yada 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 yada. But when you look at it, when you change your perspective, when you have a change of perspective and really align yourself with what is happening, because this is the new world order. Newsflash, right? This is the new world order. So you need to reprioritize certain other things. You need to literally do the things that are very meaningful to you. If it means like pursuing a relationship with somebody and you find that to be meaningful, this is the time to literally do that. If it's a career that you've always wanted to venture into, if you've always had a business idea that you never had the time to work on, this is that time to do so. Because here's what's going to happen. The lockdown is going to come to an end, and life will be faster, way faster than it was before. And when that time comes, it won't be time for you to start planning, start desiring to do certain other things. People will be implementing what they have been working on during this period. This is the time to literally just get into yourself. and challenge yourself. Find out what is it that you've always wanted to do. For me, it has been a reflective period where I went back into my life when I was literally 11, 10, 7 or 6, whatever years old. For as long as I started dreaming and desiring to be something in life, I went back into that space to find out what are those things that I've always aspired to do as a kid. And literally now you have all the time there is, the unlimited time there is in the world. While you're slumbering, while you're still catching on Netflix, following all those series and soapies and stuff, somebody's taking out their life seriously out there. Somebody's out there, improving on a business idea that has failed previously. Somebody has got time to reflect in retrospect and check, what have I been doing wrong? People are no longer depressed, but they are now interrogating, why was I depressed? Why were they depressed? At what point in their life did they hit rock bottom and it looked like it was over and it wasn't? So everybody is out there trying to reinvent themselves. Everybody's out there to reinvalidate themselves to themselves. So in as much as it looks like this is a punishment, as most people make it to be, it's not. It's not. Other people are seeing this paradigm shift for what it is, and I think it's a challenge that everybody needs to be awakened up to, that see this as a change. Life is not going to be the same anymore forever. This is more like a new world order. You can cry all you want, you can complain all you want, but the truth of the matter is, life has changed. The world as we've always known it has changed, so this is not really the time to pretend, or even with the duty, as though you have 500 years to live. You literally could be gone the next day. That's how real and how vile life is with us lately. You could be here today and tomorrow, well, he was here, what did he do? We don't know. So this is that time to literally start thinking like a legend, a legacy kind of maker. This is the time to figure out what is important to you in this life. This is the time for you to challenge yourself, man. You have time. You're out of routine. First reality that we need to accept is the fact that we are out of routine. We are out of routine. We are out of activities. I mean, a lot of us were used to certain, Saturdays I would hit a gig and, do this and that. A lot of us were used to, on Saturdays I would go and DJ somewhere and MC somewhere. All of that has changed. So there is a pattern that I think now we're stepping into the mathematics session time, but I just want to put it out there, that there are things that are talents. There are things that are gifts. There are things that we just loved doing them, and for that reason we could also get an extra income. But right about now, when I can't go out and sing anymore, when I can't go out and do my DJing gigs anymore and seeing gigs anymore, when I can't, for a lot of us musicians and stuff, this is a really, really trying time. But at the same time, this is one other time where we need to have a moment of reflection, right? What can I do? Because there's more to us than we can ever imagine. Now, it takes time for one to train your mind to tap into a new habit. And here's the tricky thing about the mind. The mind has already gone beyond life for you. Your mind has already gone beyond anything that you can now start appreciating, that maybe I can do this. So there's nothing that your mind can, there's nothing that you can, when you put your mind to, that it cannot achieve. There's nothing that you can't train your mind that it cannot execute. So you teach it a new habit, it will shock you just how many other, facets are to that one thing that you've already thought. But we've grown to be slaves and somehow crippled mentally, because we believed the wrong things about life. We believed the wrong things about who we are, what we can do, or the extent to which we can do what we can do, But this is the time for you to literally just test yourself. What have you got to lose? Anyway, what have you got to lose? If you start believing yourself, what do you stand to lose? Nothing. You stand a lot to gain than what you can actually think you can lose. So, and that was just me saying, stop complaining, man. Stop thinking that your life is over. I mean, there's a lot you can do. Like I said, somewhere in the world, there's a kid who's like, okay, there's a disaster, and everybody who, those people who are ready to live when disaster strikes, they see an opportunity to start living. So here is COVID-19. It's sweeping out the whole world, or whatever the case may be. But there's somebody somewhere out there who's thinking, this is an opportunity for me to bring about a solution in a different way. And you could be one of those people. You know what I'm saying? So train your mind. Take time. Like, you have so much time. Here's the funny thing. I don't remember when last did I watch TV. I don't know when last did I watch the series. And I have them. I have TV. I have a TV set. I've got the series. I've got all these things, but I can't tell you when was the last time I watched TV. And you'd wonder, this is crazy, but it's not, because I'm starting to do the things I've always wanted to do with my time, undistracted, undisturbed. A lot of us have gone through even psychological illnesses, depressions and stuff. Some of us, our spirits are wounded, our souls are wounded, we are a mess. This is the time to heal. If you've got nothing creative to do, this is time for you to start healing. A lot of us have got wounds that we've just swept under the carpet. This is the time to revisit them and literally fix yourself for the future. Because I don't think we will have time to stop and ask you, how are you doing? How's your depression going? Because everybody will feel like, I need to catch up with time. Because in here right now, we feel as though we have lost so much time and we need to catch up with time. So nobody's going to have time to ask you how you're doing. How many phone calls are you getting today? Let's talk about, since the lockdown happened. If you can check your call register, only your wife, your brother, your mother, or only these close people within your families are the ones that are checking on you. Your friends, they hardly miss you, because everybody is finding themselves in this space. These are the harsh realities that we need to literally start, confronting. Relationship, whatever the case, dude. There is no time like now. There will never be any other time like now to literally get into your own pocket, get into your own head, get into your own heart. Search yourself, man. Search yourself. Attend to even some of the things that have always been hindering you to be the full you. We've given ourselves too much to people, such that when they are no longer there, we feel as though, oh my God, my world is changing. But this is the time for you to start being your best friend. Now, how about that? The time where you start, putting up structures within yourself that will literally sustain you for however long time you have left. Like I said, if anything that I've learned from this pandemic is that there is a sense of fragility that is associated with life. And I think COVID-19 has exposed that immensely. It is unavoidable. It's one of those inevitable realities. You wake up healthy today, and then you catch a cough tomorrow, and then the next day they put you up there as one of the 90-something or 87-something or 70-something people that have passed as a result of. But the question is, what have you done with your time here on earth? Anyway, let's just head straight to a quick ad break while I get our mathematics session up and running. I've already taken about 10 minutes of their time, and I think I'll reward them graciously. So maybe we'll run the session from now up until 8 p.m. I was just saying, take time to train your brain to do the wonders that it has been designed to do. Take time to train yourself to be the wonder that you were created to be. If you can forget anything that I've said on TUT FM on the network all my days since I started here, remember this, that this is the time for you to literally be the baker of your own bread. The baker where put in the ingredients that you want, not that life want, or your mother, your neighbor, society, your church. And look, my friend, everything is shook from a church level, religious practices. Everything is shook. If you're depending on your pastor to carry you through to a particular dimension in the spirit world or whatever the case, he's not there. The only time you interact with them is on Sunday via videos on Facebook, because that's where everybody's flocking to. But ask yourself, do you have even, a steadfast relationship with God? Do you have a relationship with your maker? Whatever it is that you believe in, are you in sync with it, or are you still having the ideologies and the preferences and so forth of other people as to, this is how you can do it, this is who you should be, or, I mean, I'm just saying. At the end of the day, probably I'm just sharing with you guys what's in my head, in my world. But you might have a different perspective. I would also like to hear some of those you can share with me. Those who are live with me right about now on Facebook, you can just quickly type them up there and just reflect and let's just share. Tonight, maybe let's just share as to what are you seeing this period as for you? What are you seeing it as? What does it say to you? Yes, you are locked down. You are with people that you've never imagined you'd spend continuous days with. But now that you're here, what do you think? What are you thinking about that period? What are you going to come out as? Because that's what the most biggest question should be. What are you coming out as? Who are you coming out as? We know who you went in as, but who are you coming out as? Anyway, so let's just get straight into our program of the day. I mean,